Hey everybody, Garcia here, and today we're going to be competing, trying to bring our blueprints to completion and bring our mechanical beasts to life in Jiguan, the Eastern Machinist. This is an optimization game, a game with a lot of little moving parts. On your turn, you are going to be manipulating several things. You're moving at least 5 or 6 bits on the board every time it's your go. And you are ultimately trying to get the most victory points. There's a theme here. Like I said, it's about gathering gears and energy and using those things to build beasts, mechanical beasts, but that's going to fade away very quickly and you'll be left with a bunch of mechanisms. So, having said that, is the game good? Are those mechanisms worth visiting? Is this something you might want to check out yourself? Well, let's find out. So here we've got the different areas for the game. This is a player's area. I'm only going to be showing you one, but everybody would have one of these boards where you're going to be collecting the gears, trying to line them up and complete the blueprints. And then you also have one of these boards tracking a few different things that you can collect and spend along the way. You have this board here with the different gears you can acquire to then transfer over here. You have this one with the different pagodas that you're going to be moving up on these, trying to be higher than the other players for a bonus. And you have over here the extra blueprints you'll be gathering and placing around. And then all of the cards in 2 different kinds, all right? So again, like I said, we're only going to be taking a look at one player's board. Everybody does begin with 2 coins as well. And you are ready to begin. So I'm going to show you briefly how the game would go. The game is played over 2 rounds. The round is going to be over when all of these gears are done and gone. We'll do a scoring. And then we're going to lay out all of these gears, which would be for the second round, and they have, they have a 2 on the back. So you'd replenish this and do it all over again. But we'll go ahead and move these outside of here for now. The rounds, each player's actual turn consists of one of 2 things. You can take an A type turn or a B. So the A is going to go like this. You are going to gather gears. That's the very first thing. You can take any 2 spots you want to as long as they are connected. So, for example, I'm going to take this one connected to this one. I could have taken these 2, I could have taken these 2, and so on. If ever one of these is fully gone, you could take a gear next to an empty spot. You just get the bonus on the empty spot, which is going to get you coins or some sort of bonus like that. And you always have to take a gear. So 2 empty spots next to each other cannot be taken if there are gears somewhere. So I'm taking these 2. And I'm going to go ahead and place these out here somewhere. I'm placing this one there. I'm placing this one. I'll put this one here. And then I'm going to score energy equal to any spots that I've triggered. So in this case, this blueprint here has one of these little symbols on it. It's yellow. And I just played a yellow gear into its line, so I'm going to get 1 because of the 1 symbol there. So I get 1 energy right there. The red one here triggers nothing. No blueprints, no finished machines, so it doesn't do anything. That's all I do. And then the second part of my turn, of a turn A, would be I may trigger this or this. If I do the top one, I'm going to spend some energy, move this along. I would spend, in this case, 4 energy, move this to the 4. And then I would collect a card. They do all sorts of things. I'm not even going to bother going into it. Or I can spend money. I can spend 2 coins in this case, and then later another 2, then 3, and so on, to buy a blueprint. So my turn would actually likely consist of doing just that. Spending 2 coins, these 2 here I began with, and then collecting one of these blueprints. I might take, let's say that one, and place it, let's say there. All right, and that's it for my turn. It'll be the next player's go. Now, option B happens somewhat more infrequently, and that is scoring a blueprint. So let me go ahead and jump this forward where there are some things already on this board and show you what that looks like. All right, it is my turn once again. I'm going to take a B-type action, scoring a blueprint. I'm going to complete this one right here. It tells me that it needs a total of 6, and if we look in its line, I have a total of 6. That's what I need. So I'm going to score it. I'm going to flip it over so that it is complete, and you'll see on the other side it shows me 2 of those colored dots. And I'm going to, from the line of 3 tokens, remove 2 of them, leave 1 behind. So I'm going to remove this one, and I'm going to remove, this one. I'll put those aside. I keep them. I just keep them off the board. Once that's done, I'm going to move up on the matching pagoda. I go over here to this board, the yellow pagoda being it, and I move up 1 floor. I get whatever the bonus is as I land on it, in this case 1 coin. So I'll go ahead and take that coin. And then I get any 1 bonus, any 1 thing from the matching column out here. Again, it's yellow, so I could take a blueprint in yellow. I could take 1 of these cards from the yellow column. So I can do that, whichever one I want. I might, for example, take, let's say, this card here. This card lets me immediately and 1 time take any 1 gear I want. So I might, take that. I'll flip it over. It itself will count as 1 of these colored dots, just like the ones on these blueprints and finished machines. And I take any 1 thing out here. Ooh, I'm going to take that one and I'll put it there. There we go. All right. And that's it for my B turn. And then we replenish this, of course. So there you go. What am I doing? What is all this in purpose of? Well, scoring. Scoring, like I said, comes when these are all taken. And then we are going to score. You score a multitude of things. During the first scoring round, we're only going to score these 2. These 2 scoring tokens happen to randomly end up there. They're the white ones, so we score them. Every green dot I have, like that one and that one, times 2 for me. And I'll score that on the scoring board out here. Every yellow dot times 3. And I'm also going to score a few other things, all right? And then during the second round of scoring, with all of the new gears, I'll score the red at times 2, blue at times 2, purple at times 3. And again, this is all random each time. Besides that, you also get whoever's higher up on each of these pagodas gets the bonus across the top. And some other stuff. All right, so these cards, most of them, when you flip them over, they give you yet another one in that. And the blueprints, when they are finished, they'll give you 2. And now when you put a token in there of the matching color in its line, you'll get a bump of 2 on its energy. All right. So there you go. That's basically what's going on here. You're going to get bonus points if you get higher up on these tracks. You're going to get bonus points if you have pagoda. If you make it quite high up on the pagodas, if you have 2 that are neighbors and both pass a threshold, you get a bonus 5. All sorts of little things like that. But again, I don't want to go into all of the minutia in the game. I think that gives you an idea of how the game works. It's sort of like the flavor of what's going on, lots of little mechanisms and things to, try to tackle. But it's very tactical. You're basically, I can take 1 thing from the green column, let me see what's there, great, I'll take that, do something, put it aside, keep on going. All right, let's go ahead and go back up top, and let me tell you what I think of the game. All right, that is the overview. Hopefully that made sense to you. Let's go ahead and talk about this, shall we? It's, this one is kind of right down the middle of the road for me. I think it's okay. I think it's a game that I enjoyed playing. I also think it's one that I don't see myself really returning to anymore. Now, once I do this review, I'm not going to think about this game ever again. I'm not going to pine for the days when I got to play it. I'm not even going to probably remember. This is the kind of game that, because this is what I do, and that's review games, some games really stick with you, right? Now, for me, and I want to get a copy for myself. In some games, I know I'm going to live for a long time, and some games I'll remember also because they were not good. They made me feel upset. This is neither one of those. This is just really very much down the middle of the road. Some things that are neat, a lot of things that are forgettable. Let's go ahead and tear into it, all right? I'm going to start with the theme here. It's kind of neat, I mean, but it's also, it will fade immediately into the background. It does not help you teach the game whatsoever. It is not immersive whatsoever. It's also not annoying. It's also not boring or samey necessarily. It's nice window dressing. It's fine. The aesthetics are subpar for me, and I'm talking about here the components certainly are subpar. Cardboard quality, everything's a little too small, nothing quite fits where it's supposed to fit. The rule book is, I can plainly say, bad. It's a bad rule book. And the iconography is just so-so. So this gets a thumbs down. Replay value, there's not a lot of it. I think there's a lot of moving parts, and I could definitely see folks coming back to this a few times. I'm going to say, once you've played this game, I don't know, 5 times, there's really no good reason for you to come back to it. I think you've seen everything. You will feel like you're ready to move on. Unless something strikes a chord with you, and that's always possible. But I think you're going to be ready to move on after a few plays. The game arc, the build of the game, there is no real build here. You're doing the same things in the first turn as you were doing in the last turn of the game. You are scoring the same things. The problem with the build is none of your special abilities stick around. None of those cards you collect are things you keep around, and then from now on you have a new special cool ability you can do. You do start with a special ability. Everybody does. But you have it from the beginning of the game. You don't grow in this game. You just do the same thing over the entirety of the game. You do it twice, right? Those 2 big rounds. So no arc to speak of that is a hook. It's not a hook. The ease of play here, if you can get all of your questions that the rulebook will throw at you answered, like if you can figure out how to play, it's not too bad. The game's not that difficult to play. There is some decent flow. You know, again, the turn A has its flow, turn B type has its flow. They're not terribly difficult. You just have to figure out how to get there. And there is no, there's no solid player aid except for this. And again, the iconography here is just so-so. So, yeah, it's okay. Again, right down the middle of the road. Nothing particularly positive to say, but it's not terrible. And then lastly, tactics and strategy and luck. You know what? I'll give it a thumbs up here. I think this is pretty good. I saw myself having moments where I would find myself going, I want to take that. Okay, I'm ready for my turn to come around so I can grab that. I'm going to take this, I'm going to put it here, and then if I put this other gear here, that's a great cross section. That's getting me 5 energy this round. That's fantastic. Yes, you have moments of cool tactics. You get to do neat stuff. Gather things, spend them at the right moment, right? There's a conversion thing that lets you spend 3 energy for 1 coin anytime you want to on your turn. So sometimes you'll do that to get that 1 coin you need. There's also an idea that I didn't go over in my overview, which is when you have these, you can put coins on these on your turn freely. You don't. It's not an action. You put coins on this to lower or increase the number of that you need the gears to be. So I can put a coin on here, and if the gears equal 11, then I can score this. Take a turn to score it. That's cool. I like that. Tactically, that's neat. That's thinky and enjoyable. So this gets a thumbs up there. But overall, the game is very much a middle-of-the-road game. It's not bad. I don't dislike it. I've enjoyed playing it. I'm also done with it now. And I don't think that's something I would recommend. There would have to be something particularly captivating to you specifically about this game, and you would know from the overview, I think, that makes you think, man, oh man, I need a copy of that. If you did not have that happen to you while you were watching the overview, you don't need this game. It's just all right. And that's just not that good. It's not good enough. I'll put it that way. So this is going to get a 5 out of 10. Right down the middle. Again, I don't dissuade you from getting it. If it speaks to you, you want to check it out. But I also wouldn't say hunt this one down. Lots of good games you can go get right now that are going to give you a little more bang for your buck. So there you go, everybody. Thanks for checking this out with me. I'm Z Garcia. I'll see you on the next one.